What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, Yak Nasty Adventures in Fishing. And today we're going to be talking about a subject that everyone on a kayak, beginner, advanced, novice, needs to know about. And we're talking kayak confidence, guys. Stick around. It's going to be a good one. Yes, you heard me correct. Kayak confidence. Yes, guys. That entails everything kayak on the water. And we're going to break it down. We're going to break it down one by one, as deep as we can go, but we're not going to go down any extra deep rabbit holes. Can't promise you anything, though. So, guys, kayak confidence. Man, a lot of anglers, a lot of guys that I've spoken to over the course of 6 months just got a kayak. They want to know everything they can know about a kayak. They want to know about attachments. They want to know about rods and which ones are better to carry on a kayak. They want to know about transport systems. They want to know about everything kayak. But one question no one ever asks is, how do I get confident on the water on my kayak? So guys, we're about to test that today. Now, I want to start off by saying, guys, that I am not the best kayak guy in the world. I'm not the best kayaker on the planet, right? No. But I have been doing it a while. And one thing I can tell you guys out there, and you gals, is that getting a new kayak is an easy thing to do. But gaining confidence to go anywhere, to travel in spots where a lot of people are just too nervous to go, all right? Venture out in the far back waters of wherever, to sitting at your local big lake, jumping in your close river, right? Confidence is key. And confidence in your kayak, that's the big ticket, okay? So, first things first, when gaining confidence in your kayak, you gotta first have a little bit of confidence in yourself, all right? You gotta have some adventure. It's gonna be a little nerve-wracking at first, but once you get it on the water and you sit in that kayak the first time and you just feel the water move just that little bit and you see what your kayak does, well then, now we're getting started. When you first get your kayak to the water, you're going to want to work it out. You're going to have your transport system. You're going to have your whatever method to get it to the water. In my case, I'll drag mine across the grass. I'll carry it. It's lightweight, it's small, and it's easy to get anywhere I want it to go, right? It's just plain and simple. But when I first got that kayak, that wasn't the case. I wasn't sure what to do. I said, man, I've had boats, but it's not like a boat, guys. It's a little bit different. Sometimes there's a few more stages, right? So you get your kayak to the water. Well, the first thing you do is you take that thing with nothing on it. You don't want anything on your kayak, equipment-wise, rods-wise, extra junk-wise. You don't want to bring it on there. First thing you want to do is get on your kayak, and a term is what I'm going to call get on it naked, okay? Not you naked, the kayak naked. No extra junk on your kayak, just you, your personal floating device, which is key, the kayak, the paddle, and just feel your kayak. When you put it in the water at that boat ramp or off on the side of the road there or wherever you're putting it in at, I'm going to tell you now, guys, sit there for a second. Practice getting in and out of your kayak with ease, all right? Learn what your kayak feels like, what your kayak can do. Can you stand in your kayak? Can you step into your kayak? Do you have to scooch over, sit in your kayak? All right? We've seen all these things on my channel and the ways I get in my kayak depending on where I'm at and the situation, right? That's what it is. So practice getting in and out of your kayak, all right, until you become comfortable with it. Because one, getting in your kayak, that's the first step to going out there and recreational, just paddling or doing some fishing, right? So that's the first step, is to get in your kayak. But you also need to know how to get out of your kayak just the same. All right, so that's the first step, guys. Entering and exiting your kayak. Just that simple. Yes, that is a huge step in a confidence building pyramid of strategy, should I say. All right, so the first step, get in, get out, and do that 5 to 10 times till you're comfortable. Make sure your anchor's off tied up right, or however you got it tied to a dock or right off the dirt there or off some riprap. Make sure it's tied down and practice getting in and out of your kayak. Step 1, guys. Step 2 is practicing getting off the bank and then pulling up to the bank. All right, there are different angles, there are different ways to do it. The best way, in my opinion, to get into your kayak and push off the bank or paddle off the bank is to have it parallel to the bank, just sitting right up close, tight, butted up to that bank, where you can have some of that weight resting right on the bank. Hey, I'm in the middle of filming, just stop on through. All right, okay, so you want to be butted right up to it, okay? Just like that, guys. You want to be butted up right to that bank. And I really gotta tell you guys, put a good portion of the weight, all right, on the bank, right? So you get your kayak as close as you can get it, and then you kind of overlap the edge of your kayak right to that bank. So your weight's right there. You're balanced out, it works out, you can stand up to get out the kayak, and it is very easy to get in your kayak when you don't have to worry about a bunch of movement and instability. So definitely practice entering and exiting off the bank, guys. Getting out there and coming back in, okay? You gotta also practice pulling straight up to it, right? So if you're on a sandy, beachy bank, right? Or if you're on a muddy bank where it just has that little bit of a lip where you can put the bow of that kayak right up to the bank and rest it right there, guys. It's perfect for when you're tying on new baits and you got some wind, you got some current. That will help a lot, okay? But you got to think about which way the current's going, which way is the wind blowing, all right? So you pull up to that bank either parallel or you pull up to it, I guess that would be perpendicularly, right? So you would just put that bow right on that bank and it'll keep you stable right there. You can tie your rods. You have to get off because nature calls, any of those things. Practice those techniques, all right? Getting on and off the bank. When you're backing up off the bank, right? If you pull with your bow up on the bank, pay attention to what's behind you. Learn how to paddle backwards at a pretty good distance with confidence. You're gonna need to know those things, right? You wanna learn what speed you have to be at to enter the bank. You wanna know what speed you want to be at when exiting the bank. In certain situations, you'll have current, you'll have strong wind, you'll have stumps and logs in the way that you may have to maneuver through to get to the main body of water. These things are going to be nothing with your newfound confidence. So you start getting that positive feedback from yourself and the kayak. Yes, guys, your kayak is going to tell you if you're doing it right or if you're not. Balance is everything. Stability, depending on what kayak you have, it's going to tell you what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong, all right? So once you get that technique down pat, you're going to work on technique number 3 in kayak confidence. And technique number 3 is not a hard one. I like to call it the fun one, okay? And that is total boat control. Understanding your turn radius, understanding how to paddle, understanding how to stay straight, how to pick your speed up, and how to slow down and stop, okay? Because the most important out of all those I just said was stop. The most important thing to know about your kayak is how long it's going to take you to stop. What's the point of going forward fast if you can't stop when there's a log there, or there's a boat coming to cut across you and he doesn't see you, okay? You're gonna need to know how to stop. And that's a confidence that you need to have first thing, because it's dangerous out there, anything can happen, and that's not what you want, all right, guys? So stopping is a very strong technique to have, and a very heavy, strong confidence to have also, knowing that you can stop on a dime, you can change direction when need be, you can turn around, you can do your 360s, you can play a little bit, you can have fun with it, you can come in real fast and bam, slow down, coming in sideways a little bit, and having confidence to do so. Because if you do it wrong, guys, you can roll that kayak, okay? If you're not paying attention to how you're turning and how you're sweeping your paddle out further to get a quicker turn, or you can use that paddle as a rudder on a fast straightaway, all those techniques will help you build confidence. So I really suggest that you play with your turn radius, play with your paddling skills, learn how to turn left and right, learn how to make those basic maneuvers instincts. That's all we're doing here. So when things happen, you don't have to think about them. You could just do it. Oh, there's a boat coming. Boom, get out the way. Oh, there's a log right there in the way, but I want to fish it. How to move stealthily off the cover, okay? So all of those are incorporated in the confidence that will accumulate when it comes to fishing. It will transfer right into your angling skills because it will be second nature, guys. All right, so practice these techniques for sure. Practice being safe out on the water. Keep your PFD with you, all right? Keep a whistle, air horn, some kind of noise maker, right? Keep your compass with you. Yeah, I get it. You're only probably in your local lake, but anything can happen, guys. You definitely want to be confident in your kayak's abilities. You want to know what your kayak can do. So we're going to go into technique number 4, or practice number 4. In this case, you're going to want to see what it takes for your kayak to take on water. I know it sounds crazy, but you don't want to be the guy out there on his first trip and he has to go tinkle, and he thinks he can tinkle off the side just by sitting right there, and he goes to lean over, then he leans over, and then he's wet, guys, because he didn't test the abilities of his kayak. He didn't stretch the limitations of his kayak to just see what it can do. So now he's wet, he's lost maybe some equipment, the situation's not good, whatever the case may be. That's not gonna work, guys. So you want to see how much roll and how much secondary stability your kayak has. Straight up, guys. Get out there after you paddle around a little bit, tilt it, tilt it. How much can it take before it takes on water, guys? All right. And then you also got to know how to drain your boat on the water, because some kayaks naturally take on water when you have scupper plugs in, and some don't. All right. But if you happen to take on water, like with my 10-foot Pelican Castaway 100, okay, if you take on some water, which I do from time to time, you're going to want to know how to drain it on the water. Now, normally I can just take out the scupper plug and it'll drain right down the hole. But let's say my situation's a little bit different. Water's not draining like I want it to. Maybe I have a lot of weight on it that day. You got to know how much you can do to get that water off the bottom of that boat, right? Me, I can lean a little bit, and that suction from the water underneath me in that little bit of air pocket that's right there under that scupper hole creates that suction, and it will just suck that water down. It'll go down like a little toilet bowl, and then you just put your scupper plug right back in there. All right, but other kayaks, there are different methods. Some just naturally drain off to the back, some drain off to the front, some you just gotta sit in the water. If you have, you know, adequate equipment on there, that's just what it's gonna do. It's just gonna hold a little bit of water on the deck of that kayak. So you gotta figure out your kayak, what it's gonna take, if it takes anything at all, to build that confidence in what your kayak can do. All right, guys, which almost kind of makes you guys, kind of meshes you guys as one, you know. I like to look at it like Voltron, right? If you're the red lion and the yellow lion, right? They practiced, they became one with their lions. You don't know about Voltron, you don't know about that, but you become one with your equipment, guys. So that's technique number 4. You're going to want to practice rolling. You're going to probably get wet a little bit. Have fun with that. Make sure it's a good warm day. As you can tell, it's cold here. It's cold now. But our temperature should be going up in the next few days. And I do suggest a drainage pond because it's shallow. It's flat water normally. It's not crazy out there, not any current at all. So you can definitely practice on your kayak, building confidence in a more secure way, all right, a safer way. And normally they're around people, so if you get in a bad situation, you can call for help and hopefully help will arrive in a timely manner. Okay, guys, so just keep those things in mind when you're just getting out there on your kayak and you're trying to build confidence and get that confidence going on your kayak, guys. So number 5, you're going to want to spend time on your kayak, on the water, in these situations. Don't be afraid if you got a little bit of wind, if you got a little bit of chop on the water. You're going to want to start with the baby steps, guys, all right? Everyone starts off on flat, good weather, fair weather days. You know, everyone goes out there on the good days. That's how we all start, right? Well, most of us. I think I started in like some choppy, windy conditions. Lord knows. It's all I seem to run into these days. But you're going to want to spend a lot of time on the water with your kayak, all right, as much as possible. I know how it is when you're working an 8-hour gig and you got the wife, you got the kids, you know, you get out there as much as you possibly can and learn yourself in the kayak to build that confidence, guys. Build that confidence, and it'll let you go back in those backwaters. It'll give you that know-how. It'll give you those instincts secondarily, all right? And be nothing to think about. It'll be a piece of cake. So number 5 is just get out on the water, play with your yak. Play with your yak. Get out on the water, play on the boat, practice maneuvers, practice techniques, and trust me guys, confidence will be built. All right, you will build a confidence in your kayak so good that it will become an extension of your body. All right guys, so get out there, practice your sweeping techniques, practice your stealth mode. All right, practice drifting, practice anchoring in the wind, in the current. All right, practice these techniques so that when your confidence is at its max, you don't have to worry about anything but catching fish and putting those good old big ones on the boat. You understand what I'm saying, guys? Yes, indeed. So, guys, if you like this content and you want to learn more about kayak confidence, hit that like, hit subscribe, leave a comment. If you feel I left something out, or if there's something that you do to help build your confidence out on your kayak, even your boat, because there's a lot of boaters that watch this as well, leave it down in the comments, guys. Hey, until next time, tight lines and all that good stuff everybody says. Peace.